Let's look at Dr. Tennant's brain food. We know that Dr. Tennant's brain food has ketones and MCTs. And we state that it has ketones and MCTs and gives the brain the nutrients that it needs without stimulants or gimmicks, right? So it's not a specific nootropic that's going to give you so much of this specific ingredient that it's going to stimulate the brain and make the brain think that it needs to do this specific activity. It's just giving the brain the fuel and the need support that it needs. So let's dive through the ingredients and take a look at this. There's a lot more to brain food than just the MCTs and ketones. So we have calcium, right? Calcium is present and helps as a messenger to help with the neurotransmitter synthesis and release, and is also involved in long-term processes in the body or memory, right? Then we have K2. We have, we're using the MeniQ7 for this. It's one of the best forms that we could find. And this is present to ensure appropriate absorption of calcium and help keep the calcium out of the arteries and improving overall circulation. Then we have potassium, right? We know that the brain needs potassium. Potassium helps brain cells communicate with cells throughout the brain and helps nerves fire properly when it's stimulated. And then we have magnesium. Magnesium plays an important role in relaying signals between the brain and the body. Magnesium also helps develop nerve cells in the brain and aids in brain development and memory learning. And then there's phosphorus, right? Phosphorus is critical for brain function and strength. Low levels of phosphorus can often impair breathing and brain function, kind of a big deal. And then we have organic veggie protein. To function optimally, the central nervous system requires various amino acids found in proteins. These amino acids are used by the brain for synthesis of various neurotransmitters and neuromodulators. If we have the protein, we're going to need something to help break down that protein. And so we want to make sure that we give you the enzymes to help break down that protein so it's not just sitting in your system and causing additional issues in the gut. And we do that through providing prohydrolase protein enzymes. These help digest the protein that's present and help break down into amino acids so that the body can actually digest that appropriately. Then we come into our sunflower lecithin and fatty acids and phospholipids. So we specifically, 90% of the phospholipids and lecithins on the market are soy-based. We know that soy is GMO, and we want to make sure that we're giving you the best possible ingredient across the board so that your body will know what to do with it, can recognize it, and figure out how it can actually be used without any additional leftovers that it has to figure out what to do with and create some extra work. We know that sunflowers, these sunflowers are non-GMO. We can trace them from point to source, and we know all the way through production and can ensure that these are the best form of phospholipids that are used on the market. Now, the other thing is we know that phospholipids matter because the phospholipids help make up the outside of the cell. And when we look specifically at how phospholipids break down, we have phosphatidylcholine, phosphatidylnositol, and then that breaks down into choline. And we know that that's great at liver emulsification. So why fatty acids, specifically lecithin and phospholipids? Well, if we look at the brain specifically, and back up just a minute, stop looking at ingredients, take a look at the brain. About a third of the brain is in dry weight is lecithin. And so it's absolutely critical that we have adequate levels of this in whatever nutrient that we're actually providing to the brain. We need adequate levels of healthy fats. And phosphatidylcholine and phosphatidylnositol are wonderful for building the outside of the cellular wall, but they also help support the liver. Phosphatidylcholine is wonderful at detoxifying agent and helps detox the body naturally and effectively. And when broken down, choline is a wonderful emulsifier as well. So phosphatidylcholine, phosphatidylnositol, which help make up our phospholipid group, are absolutely wonderful emulsifiers and help break down fat in the liver. So when we take a look at all of those ingredients, and I'll go back here, brain food is so much more than MCTs and ketones, right? We're actually looking at healthy fat support. We're looking at liver support. We're looking at actual, quick acting fuel and longer acting fuel, in addition to some additional support so that the brain can actually function and do what it needs.